Live from Los Angeles, we proudly bring you the Clippers at the Staples Center. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Brent Barry and Greg Anthony. We've got David Aldridge reporting from the sideline. Looking at the last game for the Los Angeles Clippers, it was a loss to the Golden State Warriors. And the dunk by Chandler. Brent, a lot of experience on the floor. Talk about why it's so hard to succeed if you do not have that kind of veteran leadership.
If guys stay around this league long enough, Kevin, they've seen a little bit of everything. And when they've seen those things, the fact that they can communicate it to guys who haven't, sometimes they can keep you calm, make sure you temper your expectations, and then have you understand just how long not only the season is, how long a game is, how long a quarter is, and how long even one possession can be, in order for you to be more successful and learn the lessons of this game to be better the next time.
You've had a lot of guys come across your path. Any one veteran that comes right off the top of your head who really helped you along?
I'll throw way back to Chris Mullin and the time that I worked a lot with Chris in the early part of my career, just preparing to be in the NBA and talking through stories about the type of hard work, the type of consistent work, and the type of mentality you have to not only succeed individually, but certainly to have team success.
Great story. Now here's Ingram, following the miss by John Wall.
The human aspect of basketball. You cannot fault the shot selection. He had a clean look. You just can't make them all.
He is a monster in transition. Wall operates in the open court at an elite level. I'm not sure there's anyone who finishes better on the break.
Yeah, a bit of a tough start here at 1 for 4.
Nowitzki draws the double. Over Bogdanovic. And it's off the back rim. No good.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on that one.
Now, Bogdanovic focused on scoring on the inside, and when he gets close to the basket, looked like he was hungry to get 2.
To the middle. And the dunk by Chandler.
Well, he's always a threat down there around the rim. Throw the ball up. Let Tyson go get it.
And a hard finish there, guys.
Yeah, and only one hand needed for that one. Now here's Nowitzki. Impressive fadeaway right there.
Nice job operating in the mid-range, using his size advantage to rise up and fire over the defender.
Pass to Harris. Over Beasley. Harris, good.
Not much you can do defensively. When Tobias is covered, he's still finding ways to score.
Brent, of course, you won a championship with the Spurs back in 2005 and 2007. Talk about the differences between those two teams.
Well, the similarities are more what I would go with, Kevin. 2005, it was a year where we leaned on Timmy a ton to beat a very physical, rough and rugged Pistons team who had won 6 Eastern Conference Finals. Maybe Manu Ginobili was the MVP of that series, by the way. And in 2007, the younger guys had grown up. We beat the Cavs 4-0, and that was LeBron James just putting on a show to get into the Eastern Conference Finals, beating that same Detroit team.
Van Vliet got a piece of it. They recover it. Clippers trail by 5. Ingram with it. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. Count that bucket.
And not only can Ingram score from the perimeter, but he can also contribute inside. The way he releases his shot makes it very difficult to block.
.152 left in the first.
And Ingram, the former Blue Devil, an extraordinary player who only promises to get better.
It's his first trip to the line. And that one falls for Ingram.
Well, Doc Rivers might have done his best coaching job last year. You think about how many G League guys came in and started games, and he even talked about it as being a season with a breath of fresh air, with all that newness and the things he had to teach and go back to the drawing board. So a heck of a year for them, and they might have found some gems.
And the dunk by Chandler.
Got to keep Chandler out of the paint when he's in there that close to the rim with that size. He's ramming it home.
Man, it's just been an avalanche of points here in the early going.
Yeah, for both teams, we're seeing great synergy on offense, but some lackluster defense.
Kept alive. Out to Ingram. Second chance shot. Holmes can't get it to go in. And here's Chandler, who brings it up for the San Antonio Spurs. Nowitzki draws the double. Beasley outside. Cans it from downtown. Beasley's got 7 points.
Not too much respect shown to him by the defenders.
Holmes, good. Spurs leading by 3. And now the Clippers on the break. Not watching the line there. That'll be a backcourt violation. And now they decide to foul intentionally.
Yeah, not sure what that was about. I mean, talk about a brain cramp.
And the Clippers decide to take their first timeout here.
Yeah, I mean, it's an opportunity to kind of regroup and discuss ways to maximize these possessions.
And therein lies the trick, discussing ways to be aggressive, but not committing turnovers.
Here's Hill. Pass to Cauley-Stein. Shot clock and game clock separated by less than 6 seconds. Harris. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here.
Feel like Tobias Harris's confidence has grown over the past couple seasons, especially on the offensive end. Very capable of taking advantage of smaller defenders.
And he makes both free throws.
He talks so much about rhythm from the field. How about a rhythm from the free throw line? That looks good.
Hill with it. Now guarded by Ingram. Pass to Bertans. Good, and it's Hill picking up the assist. Bertans got himself on the board with 3 there.
Like to see George Hill distribute to his teammates a heads-up play there.
I mean, the number of points they've scored in the paint already here is eye-opening.
And at the end of one, both teams putting up some points. It's the Spurs. And we hope you're enjoying the game. Both teams tonight keeping things pretty even so far on the scoreboard. And guys, what's your take on the Spurs so far?
So far, they've been active scoring the basketball, built up a little lead here, and looking good.
Well, when you come out in the first quarter with that kind of offense, obviously the game plan is in full effect. Let's see if they can keep that momentum going.
And Goran Dragic, a slippery lefty out of Slovenia.
At his peak, a phenomenal offensive player. He doesn't hit that peak every season, though. And now in his 30s, we'll see how long he can extend his prime.
Here's Hill. Makes it off the glass. Hill's got the second quarter going with the first basket of the period for the Spurs. Back to Harris. Here's Ingram. No good. Shot missing. Hill with some nice D. Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, guys, we see new players coming into prominence for the San Antonio Spurs. Now, Greg Popovich gives his veterans credit for accepting it gracefully and helping the young guys be successful. He says it's a tribute to their character and awareness. Kevin?
They certainly have established a great culture in San Antonio. Really something. DA, thank you.
And how about Sabonis getting up there and rising up to slam down?
And this is his first trip to the line tonight.
And really one of the best assets of Sabonis is his mind for the game. Very aware on the offensive end, knows how to create chances, and just plays the game with his mind as much as his athleticism.
Trying to go for an alley-oop, but excellent defense and anticipation there to stop it. Shot's good by Laverne. Laverne's got his first bucket of the night.
And given that Laverne is almost 7 feet tall, it's no surprise that he uses his length once he's deep down on the inside.
Yeah, I mean, maybe could have tried for a more memorable dunk than that one.
And we know he's capable of those memorable ones. And for Sabonis, we all know his father was one of the best when it came to seeing the floor, Greg. As a big man, his passing game was terrific.
And skills like that go a long way in the NBA. Sabonis does all the little things that free up shots for himself and his teammates. Is starting to play with more aggression, and this is a guy that can be an all-star. And hard work on the glass. Once again, guys, they put a lot of effort and focus on the backboard.
Here's Hill. Just 5 on the clock. The three from Bertans. They get the rebound. Outside Hill. In the corner, it's Sabonis. Good, and it's Hill picking up the assist. Sabonis has got 7 now in this quarter.
You know, he didn't score the ball much in the first quarter, but he has been really, really solid during the second quarter. I expect a big game from him now.
Chalk up 2 there.
The determination of Ingram is simply awesome. I mean, maintaining control on the drive despite the obvious contact.
And it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Hill. Clippers trail by 9. Brent, a major pivot for the Clippers last season, trading away the most important player in franchise history, Blake Griffin.
The front office made mention of sustainability and production over cost, and felt like it was the right time for them to move on. The size of that max contract, the injury risk of Blake Griffin and what's happened and transpired the past couple of seasons convinced them that they might be able to clear that out of the way, get some flexibility, and rebuild the roster in the way that they wanted to moving forward.
Pass to Ingram. It's tipped. And stolen by Hood. The baseline J. And here is Los Angeles now. 7-point differential. So it's off to Brooklyn after this game as they have the Nets to look forward to. And that one will start off a 3-game road trip for the team. Brokoff. Los Angeles with another miss.
Yeah, his shot just doesn't seem to be synced up right now. Here's hoping he finds it soon because his team is really going to need that production tonight.
And that one drops for him. Laverne's got 6.
And when it comes to rebounds, Laverne is relentless on the glass.
Now Hill. They get a hand on it. Laverne with the steal. And Laverne throws it down.
A nice run they put together here to bring it a little closer.
And that's all you can do. Just chisel away at the lead. Keep believing in what you're doing.
And San Antonio calls the first timeout of the game.
And a wise move to call timeout there. They need to settle down a bit. They've been playing out of control at times here, and it shows with their turnover numbers.
A different look now for San Antonio. .107 left here in the second. Here's Van Vliet. Stolen by Nene. And in transition, it's Ingram. Here we go.
That's something about all these turnovers. Right away, you're at a disadvantage defensively.
Down low. Nowitzki. Terrific assist. A nice finish. Solid play all around.
And with that basket, he's able to end a 10-0 run by the Clippers.
To the inside. Harris. Back to Ingram. Out of bounds. Clippers ball as the Clippers keep possession. We've got 28 seconds left in the first half of basketball.
Chandler out there still hustling as a vet. Gotta like to see that, especially on the defensive end where he likes to shut you down.
And that's what you want in transition, a high percentage opportunity.
The story is true, and here the defense does a very poor job of matching up.
And Nene with the stuff.
And that's how it's done. I mean, find that hole in the D and then go hard to the right.
Maybe that hole was a little bigger than it should have been.
Especially in a game that is this close, every possession counting. That was just one.
And that'll do it for the first half. A competitive game so far. Spurs lead by 3. And join us right back here after the break for the start of the second half. And after a fairly even first couple of quarters, the second half could turn out to be a great one as both teams try to gain an edge. Brent, for as long as Coach Popovich has been at the top of this game, what really is there left to say?
I don't think there's much more you say on a professional level, but there's a lot to be said about the compassion and the things that Pop has done on a personal level for years behind the scenes, championing guys on his staff, supporting not only current players but former players on his team. The interesting thing for Pop the last couple of years is just how outspoken he's been in terms of the equality, not just around the NBA but around our nation, and some of the statements he's made that have garnered a lot of political attention. Greg Popovich not afraid to express some of the things that maybe deep down we all believe in.
And it goes down 2 points.
Mindset right now is pretty strong. Superb at staying aggressive, but right now stringing some plays together.
And Nene slams it in.
Oh, an aggressive move and fantastic finish.
Trying to send a message with that slam, I think.
Fundamentals, guys, using the one-hand slam.
Really makes the basics look pretty exceptional. Ingram outside. Pass to Nene. A putback.
The game has been very close in a lot of areas, but rebounding has been the one differentiator thus far.
Goes up at the stripe. Kicks it out to Nowitzki. Drains it from beyond the arc. Nowitzki's got 11 points.
They're doing work here in the second half. 3 or 4 to start.
Some turnovers necessary. That one, not so much.
San Antonio leading by 6. Beasley outside. Nowitzki right side. And again, it's San Antonio with a 3.
And at the offensive end, he's done about as much as they could have hoped for today.
He gets a chance now to catch up with the 4th member of our crew, Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Well, the Clippers have hit the reset button, and you wonder how that affects their head coach, Doc Rivers. Now, he seemed reluctant to lead a rebuild with the Celtics, but he's on board doing it with the Clippers. Even though the Clippers relieved him of his title of president of basketball operations in 2017, Rivers has just signed a new extension that will keep him coaching the team for the next few years. Kevin?
Well, if nothing else, DA, he has guided them through some pretty dark hours. Thank you.
Serbian shooting guard showing that he has the ability to get up. Second overall pick in 2001, Tyson Chandler again started his career with the Bulls, where he and Eddie Curry were supposed to be a new version of the Twin Towers. That never quite worked out, and Chandler had 3 different coaches there in Chicago in his first stint.
Stolen away. Nice job to interrupt the alley-oop attempt there. And the basket by Harris.
Such a smooth scorer. Tobias Harris making that look easy.
Here's Van Vliet. Lobbed up there for Chandler.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agenda.
Ingram outside. Kicks it out to Booker. Back to Ingram. Chandler with the steal. In transition, here comes San Antonio. And it's Beasley finishing it off.
And unfortunately, we've seen a few too many of those. A lack of concentration, a turnover, and an easy bucket in transition.
Looking at Chandler's evolution, Brent, things really started to change in New Orleans.
Well, he averaged over 12 rebounds a game there in his first season under Coach Byron Scott, and then a few years later anchored that Dallas defense during their championship run with Dirk Nowitzki playing out of his mind. But there's still a lot of talk from Tyson Chandler about the mentors that he had early on. Guys like Charles Oakley, Scottie Pippen, Antonio Davis. Those guys really helped him to stay on course as a young player coming into the league.
Pass to Hood. There's 1:54 left here in the third quarter. Clock at 6. Here's Pertinis. And the Spurs scoring again.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
Got a piece of it. And stolen by Cauley Stein. Rips down the breakaway slam.
Well, there you go. One team operating on all cylinders at both ends. Steals, fast break buckets, and the other team in scramble mode.
Down low. Here's Holmes. And misses it off the right side of the rim.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
Clippers trail by 13. The Clippers again turning it over.
Yeah, it's a disappointing sequence of plays. Absolutely inexcusable turning the ball over like that.
And the Clippers call time here.
Definitely not pleased with their rebounding at the defensive end. The number of putbacks they've allowed has been terrible. I'm sure that's what he's going to address during this timeout.
Spurs leading by 13. To the middle. Sabonis. Fouled in the act of shooting. Gets the bucket anyway, so a 3-point play chance for him.
Well, Sabonis can play there on the block. That's where he did a lot of damage in college, so him working inside, that's a good sign.
Ingram left side. Pass to Laverne. Trying to get something going. And no good. Trying to use the glass.
Yeah, you look at George Hill's game, and he doesn't wow you in any way, but he's a complete basketball player. Strong outside shooter, but might be most valuable defensively. Often regarded as one of the best defensive guards in the league.
And the athleticism that George Hill can bring to the point guard position makes him impressive. He does it so well on both ends, especially when he's engaged. Cauley Stein can get up there, and the guards know that, so available for an oop at any time. Well, passing is something he does very well, especially when it comes to leading his man to the right spot.
Baseline try. San Antonio with the rebound.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well. And you can see the play calling this half. Another one from distance.
Yeah, no question. It looks like they've rented out room along the perimeter in this ball game, and they're likely to keep doing this until the defense makes an adjustment.
John Wall getting it done. for the San Antonio Spurs. He notched 8 points in the quarter and has that terrific basketball instinct on display. We'll get right back to the action when we return. And we reach the fourth quarter in a game that may be already out of hand. And he's going up for the alley-oop. And out of bounds as the Clippers gain possession.
Yeah, that's just not a good pass. I don't know what he's thinking there. A poor decision.
Clippers trail by 18. To the right side. Pass to Laverne. Yep, that one goes. Laverne's got the fourth quarter going with the first basket of the period here for the Clippers. To the middle. Oh, a nice defensive play to disrupt the alley-oop. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. The first free throw is good. 5 years from now, who do you think will be the best player in the NBA?
5 years from now, the best player in the NBA will be
Antetokounmpo? I'm going to go.
Wow.
I'm going to go and just say that right now.
Do you think he'll be the best player in the league?
If he does not get injured, I think he'll be the best player in the NBA. 5 years from now.
Okay, that sounds good.
Give me another name.
Is Joel Embiid going to be the man in the league?
I like it if he stays healthy. Of course, you can say that with anybody.
You can say it with anybody, but Joel Embiid might just be that guy.
Special talents. Here's Cauley Stein. A good finish at the rack off the slick feed.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today? Ending with a basket, coming off a pretty pass.
Pass to Harris. Back to Ingram. Now Laverne. And Laverne throws it down.
And that's such solid, fundamental basketball on display right there.
You talk about it all the time, Greg. Yeah, great use of the pick to set up a dunk.
Well, that's a play that only works by practicing over and over and having a great rhythm with your teammate. You could see the timing there.
Solid play in the low block, and that one's good. Laverne's got 6 in the quarter.
Well, if they're going to win this game, he's going to require just a little bit of help. Many of the shots he's taking are finding the hoop.
Count it, good.
Well, Dragic was sprinting down the floor with the ball. The right decision right there was go all the way to the rim. That's what he did.
Stripped away. It's 3-on-3 on the fast break. And slam dunk by Harris.
And you can sense things now starting to tighten up. Their offense has become unstoppable.
Right, big scoring run fueled by great game planning and really some great shot making.
Time called here. The Spurs decide to talk it over.
When you look at what the Spurs went through last year, it just was not a pretty season. Just not something that we've seen from the Spurs in 25 years. Still clinched a playoff berth, and that was their 21st season in a row.
All right, let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Thanks, guys. I was able to hear Greg Popovich talking to his team during the break. He told his guys they've got the green light to keep shooting from downtown. He told them, I like the way you guys are working out there. Keep finding the open spaces on the perimeter. They're giving us open shots. And we'll see if they step it up from here, guys.
And that Spurs run started back in 1998. A lot of those players are now in their 50s.
You have great names like David Robinson, Chuck Person, Avery Johnson, Will Perdue, Vinny Del Negro, all past the half-century mark. And I'm sorry, guys, Kevin Harlan was the one who talked about you guys being that old.
Yeah, it's been about the rebounding. Really, that's the dividing line in this game.
Harris's shot is good.
Failure to extend the defense not going to get you back in this game.
Yeah, it's just a big mistake against a great shooter. It feels like they've just completely lost their focus.
And Chandler sends it back.
Chandler takes his defense seriously. That's what he gets paid for, utilizing his outstanding length to stifle shooters.
Defensively, you cause the miss, but then you have to corral it.
Well, that's the second part of the equation there. Block out, be aggressive, and control the glass. This roster for the Clippers is in transition, no doubt about it. You think of the franchise's history, plenty of dysfunction, but over the last 5 or 6 years, they've been the best team in LA. Now it's a time for them to reset, try to find some new stars to carry it forward.
And the basket by Nowitzki.
And he can smell blood in the water. Excellent finish.
Yeah, when your opponent's down and frustrated, this is when you can turn it up.
Ingram with it. Picked up by Harris. Holmes. And Holmes throws it down.
And the passing of Ingram, setting up his teammates and distributing the ball, effortless.
Clippers trail by 14. And slam dunk by Harris.
This guy is looking for some life preservers. He needs more help. He's playing well, but his teammates have to pick up the slack here.
Here's Nowitzki. Hits the outside fadeaway. Nowitzki's got 13 points here in the second half alone. And Brent, you look at the Clippers ownership group, the front office, the coaching staff. It's a different story now from days past, isn't it?
Well, it just feels a little bit more stable. It just feels like they want to compete at the highest level, and they will do the things necessary to commit to winning. And we've seen that happen pretty quickly for the Clippers.
And Holmes throws it down.
What elevation. He's a smaller but still determined big man, and he likes mixing it up with his impressive vert.
And guys, what we saw here tonight is one side having everything going for them. Huge margin of victory for San Antonio.
And they're fully in control now, but there were some tense moments, I thought, for them throughout this game.
Listen, they certainly weren't coasting, despite what the score looks like. I love the way they came together, though, when everything started to look a little dire and really put the hammer down.
And it'll mark their 4th win on the year, actually their 5th win on the year.
And they'll take the win tonight, setting the tone in the first matchup of this 4-game season series.
And you know, when you look at the huge impact he had, just a monster game for Tyson Chandler.
I liked his aggressiveness here tonight, especially on the glass. He was not messing around.
43 seconds left in the 4th quarter. To the paint, the 8-footer. And again, the Clippers good for 2.
This is not the team we've been watching for most of the night.
It's a shame because this is the team we expected to see, fighting on every possession. I think it's just too late.
Harris outside. Had a chance there to cut it to single digits, but it's off target. Here's Van Vliet. And Bogdanovich picks up the foul. That's his first foul. Here's Van Vliet. Beasley outside. And so it's San Antonio easily taking this one. And in the win, a comfortable win in what was, I think, a pretty hostile environment.
It really was. You know, it's never going to be easy on